Some royals appearing at Wimbledon, and we do have a couple of gorgeous pictures from a wedding of a descendant of Empress Sisi of Austria. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Royal Fashion News. My name is Brittany, and this is the best and worst dress list. Yes, I'm so sorry we missed a week there. I actually have a whole video recorded that I may go ahead and upload here at some point if I get it edited as well. That goes over Royal Ascot and many of the looks there. But this week we are talking about a couple looks that we've seen over the last week and a half or so. And we have some amazing pieces, some, I would say, very daring fashion choices that didn't always pan out. And of course, some ladies looking absolutely gorgeous. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. Okay, so we will start off with the best dress list because we have more on the best dress than the worst dress this week. And I'm going to begin with Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, here in this Susanna London dress. And of course, guys, the lotus flower tiara, which I'm so excited that she got to wear. Unfortunately, this is about the best look we got at the dress. There was a picture from behind that I'll show here as well, a bit of a video that we got from the royal household, in addition to her being up front there during the speeches because she was seated right next to the emperor. And I just have to say, I'm loving this gorgeous, gorgeous green color on Sophie. I'm thinking of another look there for a second. I almost said red, but this green look I think is absolutely stunning on Sophie. I'm not a fan of every one of Susanna of London's looks. Sophie has been leaning on them quite a lot recently, and I find their looks personally very hit and miss. Some of them I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. And others I'm like, why is there like a napkin on her neck? Why is there a napkin around her neck? It didn't really work for me, but I think this one in particular actually looks incredibly stunning. It could be maybe almost a smidge casual, almost in a way, but I think the color is gorgeous. I think the fabric is probably pretty amazing because this is a pretty pricey ensemble. I believe it's somewhere around $3,000 or $4,000. So not outrageous. There are actually some real ladies. There's a lady I covered earlier this year who wore a $20,000 gown that did not look that good on her and was probably a little bit too young for her to an event. So I think this one is absolutely perfect, and hopefully we shall see it on Sophie again here sometime in the future. Okay, guys, next on our best dress list here, we have Queen Mary of Denmark. And she is here with her son, Crown Prince Christian, who just graduated from high school. And she is showing off here in a Zimmermann skirt, which is an Australian brand. And Mary is originally from Australia. She also has a Baguetta skirt, a Prada tote, Gianvito Rossi shoes, and some pieces of jewelry that she wears pretty frequently. And I gotta say, guys, I'm loving this look. I love the summeriness of this. And it's especially a great comparison to her wardrobe recently in Greenland while they've been on tour, which they just wrapped up. And I think she looked lovely there. But over the last couple of weeks, I mean, there's been some good looks, but I'm just still really loving casual vibe of this look. I think it's absolutely fabulous. So let's get another look. It's just such a fabulous summer ensemble here. And again, just love the shoes, love the bag, love the shirt. Mary just has really impeccable taste, I think. So I enjoy most everything she wears, to be quite honest. So I'm just, again, really loving this look, guys. So this one's definitely on the best dress list this week. So first on the worst dress list here, we have Queen Maxima of the Netherlands in this Nathan couture look. Now, you guys know, if you've been following this channel for a while, I have a strong general dislike for Nathan. I don't think it looks particularly good, and I really don't like this. I think this top here is super, super bizarre. What it reminds me of is my dad has those antique chairs where you, oh gosh, I like the term escaped me, but you actually like create a pattern within like the main, like, the empty, like a wicker. It's like a wicker thing that you do a pattern and you put it through. And so you have this wooden chair and you have this empty center where you can make a pattern like this. That's what this looks like to me. That's what this looks like to me. It reminds me of those chairs. So I don't think it's a particularly great look. And it's something I feel like she could do something a bit different and maybe better. Again, I'm just not seeing the appeal of the ensemble. Like, especially the shirt, the trousers are fine. The shoes aren't necessarily super to my taste, but it's really here, this shirt ensemble. I just think it's weird. And there are better things you can do than wearing a wicker chair as a shirt or the wicker pattern of a chair as a shirt. So, guys, this is definitely going on my worst dress list this week. So, guys, next on the best dress list, and this is one I almost forgot, and then I remembered at the last minute. I was like, yes. So if you guys don't know, these are ladies Amelia and Eliza Spencer. They are the nieces of Princess Diana. And so they are a member, obviously, of the Spencer clan. And I think they have a brand deal with Holland Cooper because these ensembles are all Holland Cooper. And so if you guys remember Catherine during the white Christmas appearance where she wore this gorgeous white look with this white jacket, white shirt, white trousers, the white trousers were from Holland Cooper. And Catherine has worn them a couple of times. Her famous tartan coat is from Holland Cooper. So I have been keeping an eye on Holland Cooper because I really like, again, the classic English look. And I just think both the ladies look absolutely stunning here. Obviously, there are identical twins. And so you can almost swap them. It'd be funny if they like swap their looks or something. I always wondered if identical twins ever switched places for whatever reason, because that's just such a crazy notion to me. But I am absolutely loving and adoring both of these looks. I maybe would switch out for a lighter pair of shoes here because I'm not really liking the black. I think the white there sandals look great. And I love the color combinations together. I think they're fab. I am absolutely loving these looks. And I'm really planning, hoping it all comes together, on going back to the UK end of August because I have tickets to look at Buckingham Palace and the room behind the balcony. So I really want to go ahead and do that. And one thing I've been looking to do forever is go to Bicester Village. I think that's how you pronounce it. So it's actually outside of London and it's like a designer discount location. And they actually have a Holland Cooper store because I'd love, again, to go and show you guys. I'm going to be working on a video here hopefully very soon. And although it's probably a little bit past the peak time, unfortunately, it's going to be about, hey, how to find great looks that are often royal inspired for a cheap price. Because what I'm really good at doing, guys, is finding great looks, great pieces for cheap. I shop the sales. I shop the extended sales. I get it when things are an extra % off. Like I shop incessantly, probably too much, but I find great deals. And so I'm really excited to hopefully go there at the end of August because I really want to go to Holland Cooper in person, check out some of the coats and everything. Been thinking about getting a coat, but I'd like to go there in person and check it out. And there's, of course, a lot of other fantastic stores there as well with some really great discounts. So I don't know if for sure if that's going to happen, but that is currently the plan. And I am very excited to bring you guys some more royal fashion content. So next on the worst dress list, I am sad to say, is Beatrice Borromeo. She is a brand ambassador for Dior, and I pretty much love all the Dior stuff she's in. This piece, though, is not very flattering. And I kind of wonder if Beatrice somewhat did this to herself. Because actually, on the Dior website, this shirt, there is a bow in the back, which I'll show you here in a minute. And the bow in the back on the website is actually in front of the dress. So I think in order to maybe mix things up, which I appreciate, she took a risk, is that she put the dress on backwards to give it a different look because it's a very classic pussy bow dress, which I think is actually stunning. Unfortunately, I do not think that decision was successful. So I gotta say, I'm just really bummed. I'm loving the color though. I'd actually buy this dress and wear it correctly. You can actually see the pussy bow here. And so again, guys, I think she was meant to wear this dress in reverse. And again, she took a risk. And I think it's great to take fashion risks. And sometimes risks don't come together. And I don't think this one did. I think it kind of tended to look like a sack on her. I think it would have been better for her to wear it the pussy bow style, like it was originally intended. I mean, I'm not absolutely positive. I'm pretty sure she wore it backwards. And I would go with something different. I appreciate the fashion risk, but I think there was maybe a different way for her to wear it that would have been better. Unfortunately, I think this fashion risk ended up making it a bit of a fashion flop. And although the original look is just, you could argue, almost too classic, I think the classic and elegant here would have been better than what this turned into. So that is just my personal opinion. I'd love to see it actually worn the traditional way because I think I'd get a better sense of if the dress is good or not, because you can almost can't really tell even if the dress is good because she's not wearing it correctly. And again, fashion risk. And sometimes those risks, they totally are fantastic. This one is not, and I don't know how exactly to fix it. And this is so sad because I love all of Dior stuff. I think Beatrice Borromeo looks great in Dior. I think she has a great figure for it and just absolutely looks fantastic. Loving the shoes. I actually, guys, I'm going to be doing a video here very, very soon because I got the correct shoes. And so I have a bit of a video on a fashion sale fail. And so I'm going to share that with you guys, but loving the shoes here. I think the shoes are fabulous. And yeah, so other than that though, oh, I'm so sorry, Beatrice. Just mad props though for taking a risk though. Mad props. Not everybody can do that. But yeah, unfortunately, this one didn't work. All right, guys, next on the best dress list, which I'm really excited to put her back on here because Queen Letizia for me, guys, has been so hit and miss recently. But I think she looks fabulous here. This was an official military parade where her daughter was becoming like a junior officer. So this was very important. And she tends to go with these more summery frocks. And I think this one really, really works. And so for those of you who might be curious, it is a Mage Paris dress. She has Pedro Garcia shoes, which are sandals because she's still struggling with her feet issues, and Helena Nicolau jewelry. So I, again, guys, think this look is amazing. I really like it. I would wear this dress. I would so totally wear this dress. And I just think it probably almost could maybe be a little too informal for this event. But it is summertime. And again, I think it's really working for her. I think it looks great. I think she looks fabulous. I look forward to the day. Maybe, just maybe, she can get back into heels a little bit more. Because I do think there's something sort of like you can totally wear flats 100%. But there's something, especially all the time, where flats start to look a little unpolished. So I'm looking forward to a day here where she is once again in heels, or maybe a little bit of a kitten heel, something. All right, guys. So next on the worst dress list here, we may have to do a twofer here because that may make the most sense. But I have to give it to, unfortunately, Princess Stephanie, because this dress apparently has a belt, but I don't think she's using it. And without the belt, this dress is kind of sort of a sack. And so Princess Stephanie here is in the turquoise. And while I think the color is actually really quite good, I just think it does desperately need that belt. And it just doesn't seem like she's wearing it. She has had 2 children. She's a bit older. So maybe she's been having a really hard time losing the baby weight or something like that. Totally understandable. But I think the definition of a waist here would be really, really helpful for her. Because again, what we want to do on this channel too is we can learn from the royal ladies of what to do and not to do. And unfortunately here, I think this one just needs a little bit of that, because some dresses have, maybe you could call it a sack fit, which means they're not super tight, but they do have a fit in a way where even though they're not technically, maybe having a belt, they still fit enough of that way. So it's not super bad. But I just think in this case, there's needs to be some definition. And I think it would help her a lot, give her a bit of a waist, which she kind of needs, because actually when I was looking for pictures of that dress, I happened to come across this picture and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks fabulous to me as far as I can tell. And I think, again, a waist helps. It's not perfect, but women especially need that bit of definition, and not everybody, it works for everybody the same way. I think Meghan Markle, because she has such a square shape, I think sometimes adding a waist doesn't totally work for her, or she has to be very, very particular about where she puts it, because sometimes she almost accentuates wideness rather than diminishing it. And I really feel like a belt, a fit somewhere in the A line, really does give a woman a great definition. I always look for that in the clothing I purchase oftentimes. Sometimes I like to get like shirt dresses, which is just kind of a shirt that's a dress. And I love those because they're comfy, they're easy to wear and everything like that. But I can add a belt if I want to. And I do sometimes, not just because it maybe adds a little bit more, because you're usually just solid dark colors, so it's not super exciting. But again, it's adding that bit of definition, which I think elevates a look here. And I think this look is absolutely fabulous. This pink suit is amazing. I almost want to put it on the best dress list, but I can't see it well enough to really totally make a definitive say. But I will say right now, I will also say this is the best dress look of the week. I wasn't planning that, but I think she looks fabulous here. Absolutely fabulous. But again, this look, not quite so much. And I also am not really a fan of Maria Theresa in this either. This is another dress. She was actually the woman I was talking about who wore a $20,000 dress. She wore it on the state visit to Belgium. And so this dress is another Oscar de la Renta. I'm not sure quite how much it is. Let me look. Well, we're getting up here towards like the $6,000 range with this particular look, and it is a repeat. But there's just something about these patterns I just don't really think works on her. I just really don't think it does. I don't know. I don't think this is the same situation. The other one dress that she wore that was 20,000, I definitely thought was better suited to a woman younger than she is. I don't think this dress quite hits that same mark, but there's just something about it that I feel like the pattern so much in addition to the jacket, it's just so much pattern. So much pattern. But at the same time, too, I can understand because I saw her in the other dress, which was just spaghetti straps, that she really kind of needs a coat. And so yeah, that's just kind of where I'm landing on this. I just don't particularly like the pattern. So I have to give it to both the ladies on the worst dress list there, but Princess Stephanie in the pink suit. Stephanie more looks like that. Fabulous. So guys, next look was one that I'm going to give a thumbs up to, although a part of me doesn't because I find the necklace so incredibly much. It's so much. So this is a Queen Maxima and the Saint Aramis artisanal jewelry. And what I will say here is that Maxima took this big, chunky, ridiculously much necklace, which fits Maxima. She goes over the top and it works for her 9/10 of the time. And so I do think the necklace kind of sort of works in part because the rest of her look is so pared down. The necklace really is a star. And this is a great example of how to dress with something that's so statement like this without going so over the top. I think this really simple ensemble really works in comparison. So she is wearing a Natan outfit. Who would have thought? I think the trousers look great. I think the shirt is nice. So, yeah, nothing too much to complain about there. She has an Hermes clutch and Ferragamo shoes, which have a bow on top, which I'm just always not totally a fan of those shoes. So, she's at a community doing different things. And I will have to say, like, the necklace seems like so much, so much, but yet she kind of pulls it off. She really does. So, according to the Saint Erasmus Instagram account, who did a whole video of the necklace and everything with her wearing it, said, "The gorgeous Queen Maxima wearing Saint Aramis, how graceful and beautiful she is. We are dancing around the studio with joy. Thank you, Royal Monarchies, for posting this stunning reel." So, and it was handcrafted in their own studio. It's so cute. They are so excited about it. There's like 3 posts on their Instagram. They are so excited about this. I kind of love that. Maybe they're a smaller thing. I don't think she's worn them before, but again, I think actually the busyness of the necklace actually really works here with the simpleness of the outfit. Again, this is all a great example of how to do balance in a look, I think. Now, it's not obviously a flawless ensemble, I don't think. There's a part of me that's like, eh. But again, I think it all comes together really well. And that's what I love is that the coming togetherness. I think that's the great thing. All right, guys. So for our worst look of the week, and I did debate between this one and the Beatrice Borromeo look, but I will say it's hard to totally judge the dress because of the way she wore it. But I think the dress itself was probably fine. But this whole look and the decision with the accessories and everything feels almost a little too on the nose and honestly really doesn't work at all. And that is Queen Matilda of the Belgians in this dress, which is a Odile Jacobs dress. And it seems like this is more independent designer, which I totally appreciate, but it also seems really on the nose because she's wearing this to the award ceremony for the African Prize of the King Bedouin Foundation. And so there's a part of me that's like, wow, this is really kind of going for the travel look there. Queen Matilda, like almost a bit too on the nose. And it might be that this person had previously worn the award that she wore this dress to because it looks like again a smaller designer. So I really do appreciate it and I appreciate what she's doing here, but it almost feels like just so on the nose that it just yeah, doesn't quite work here. She also has those well Dior pumps and a Furla red patent bag. And I've got to say as well, the red doesn't look. I mean, I guess you're kind of going with red, white, and blue, I guess. But the busyness, the pattern of the dress, it should have been either white heels or like a cream heel or nude heels. Like I have an Aquazzura pair of pumps that's sort of like a taupe, like a really light taupey white-ish color, you could say. And I feel like that would work with here or a nude shoe. I think the red was a bit too much. And again, guys, I just don't really like this look at all. I appreciate what she's doing. The designer might have a connection to the award, so I understand. But at the same time as well, it's just especially because it's an African prize, it's just this feels so on the nose that it's almost a bit too far. I think she's also previously worn this dress before, maybe even in Africa. So while I understand, I'm also like, eh. And overall as well, not liking the accessories paired with it. I think this would have been much better to be pared down rather than trying to incorporate red and making red, white, and blue is just a bit much. So this is definitely my pick for the worst dress of the week. All right, guys. So for my best look of the week, and I'm so excited to give out this award to this particular person because I saw this dress, and although there is one critique I have of it, overall, I think she looks smashing. And that is Princess Catharina-Amalia of the Netherlands in this green Roland Moret dress, which I'm so sad was already sold out on my Teresa when I saw it because there is an additional sale going on there right now. And they had this dress, but it was already sold out. I love this green on her. I think the green is fabulous. I love the cape. I think it's really, really good. She's, I think, a bit uncomfortable with her body, which, you know, we all are. We're women in some form or another. We're all uncomfortable. But I just think this dress is smashing on her. Now, the only critique I have is that it's very, very low cut. Now, somebody tried to tell me that there's a panel there. I don't see the panel, and we'll see it in another picture. And to be fair, because I've criticized Meghan Markle for wearing some things that are low cut, I will say I don't know if this dress is necessarily super royal appropriate, but she is not at an official royal engagement. This is actually the wedding of a woman who's like the great, great, great granddaughter of Empress Sisi of Austria. So this is a private event. There just happens to be photographers there because there usually are in big European royal weddings. And so they happen to catch a picture of there. There's her mom, Queen Maxima, and the necklace that some people have deemed the Tutti Frutti necklace, which I love. So here's another picture of Princess Catharina-Amalia in this dress. I think it looks like she has like a little band-aid right there. But I think this looks fantastic. I love the fact that she's been able to really dip into the Dutch jewelry collection. What I love about the Dutch, guys, is, and the Swedes as well, is that it seems to be that there's just a very liberal option to wearing royal jewelry. They're like, I want to wear this. Sure. I love that because then this means that they get to dip into these great collections. They get to show us these amazing pieces. The Brits have always been a bit more restrictive. Now, with very exciting, with Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, wearing the lotus flower, things could be changing within the British monarchy, which I am all for, guys. I'm all for that. But I love that the Dutch are already there. They share things so liberally within the main line. So this is the queen, the former queen, and her three daughters. I think we'll all see them choose from the collection. Now, I've done a whole video on tiara politics, which I'll link here. But the big thing about sort of tiara politics is that it does depend on the hierarchy of the family. So when it comes to the family, Queen Maxima gets the first choice, then probably Amalia, then Princess Beatrix, then probably William Alexander and Queen Maxima's younger daughter, Princess Alexia, who's not worn a tiara or any other pieces of royal jewelry as of yet that we know of. Amalia also has a great love for the royal collection and the history of it. There was an interview in a book. I have the book, but obviously I don't speak Dutch, but I was like, one day, maybe if I get really, really ambitious and learn Dutch, I may read it. Anyways, she talks about how she loves royal jewelry and you can show her any tiara and she can tell you the provenance of it. So I think she has a great appreciation for the history of the collection and what it means, which I think is fantastic. She would steal her mother's jewelry quite a bit, not steal, like take it away and never give it back, but she would sort of pilfer and she's like, oh, mom got this out of the vault. Let me try this on. There's actually a very famous picture of her wearing the Ruby Mellorio tiara, which is absolutely massive. And so she wore that as a child. She looks to be like 11 or maybe even 8, 9, 10 in the picture. And so she has been able to really enjoy a lot of her family's collection, which I think is fabulous. And she's showing it off here. And again, guys, I'm loving the dress. Now, again, really low cut, but she is smaller busted. So it's not that bad. But I don't think there's a panel there. Again, somebody said there was. I don't think there is. That's not how the dress is designed. And you could add one, but I think it would sort of mess it up. And so I wouldn't really totally recommend that. But again, guys, I think absolutely fabulous, fabulous there. I'm loving her in this look. It is absolutely stunning and amazing. So guys, that is it for this video. Let me know what you think of my picks for the best and worst looks of the week. Do you have any you would like to add? Do you think we will see a look from Catherine this week if she goes to Wimbledon? I'd love to get your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you oh so soon. Bye.